welcome to the Homeowner Show on Metro TV. We're live on Facebook and Metro TV Ghana and on all social media handles. We're also live on DSTV on channel 277. My name is Hanna Atiase and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Dr. Hanna Atiase. Last week, we were looking at Ghana's housing crisis, and the conversation actually got deeper. We're going to do a continuation today. But before I introduce my very distinguished guest, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'll introduce him, and then we'll continue the conversation. Welcome back to the Homeowner Show on Metro TV. Once again, we're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana and on all social media handles. All right, so we are taking a look today at Ghana's housing crisis. Last week, we started the conversation, and today we are privileged to have in our studio our very distinguished guest who happens to be the chairman for the Select Committee when it comes to works and housing right here in Ghana. Honorable Vincent Oppong Asamoah, thank you very much for joining us again. And we are glad that you are making time with us to actually go into this conversation. Last week, we ended on rent. That was where our conversation ended. And the question that I wanted to ask you before we go into the rest of the questions that I have today has to do with what government wants to do when it comes to rent in terms of like paying for the citizens. What if a citizen starts to pay and then along the way he or she add in terms of like installments that he or she has to pay and then they're unable to pay? What do you think the government will do in a case like this? Are they going to come in to help?
No, with the rent assistance scheme, what happens is that government pays owners of these properties the advance, and then you have the comfort of paying it monthly. For now, it is for especially government workers, those that are on payroll, where it's easy to assess their income. I know Controller Accountant General, you can easily deduct it from the Controller Accountant General can deduct it. It's limited to rather government employees, you know, because it's easy to deal with them. However, the private sector, we need to also have a very nice scheme to rope in the private sector. And we haven't gotten there now. And for me, you say the first story about the rent assistance scheme is that recovery rate is 100%. So until some of the defaults start to come in, you wouldn't even know how to handle the situation, because for now, there's nothing like default. Because the moment you are out, you are out of job, the system itself blocks you because you cannot pay for it. You cannot pay for it. So I think when it gets there, the executive will have to take a very nice decision, make a nice decision as to how to go about that. So for now, that is the situation for now. And to me, it should not be limited to only government. I think the private sector can also take advantage of this nice scheme.
Because they are more.
Yes. I think there are a lot of institutions that have the resources to go into that, especially if we can talk about SNED. You know, SNED own a lot of properties.
Yes.
And if SNED can even go the same tangent, it will help the government a lot because we have the resources over there.
It will reduce the pressure.
You reduce the pressure on government. So I think the government will have to encourage SNED. Another pension fund as well can also do same, especially for those within the public sector who are contributing to that. And beside that too, you know, earlier I've said that government can be a major player in housing delivery in Ghana. More especially, you know, when it comes to like the major components of cost when you want to build is the cost of land. And we all know that government can easily get land. You have a lot of land bank that belongs to the states. So once that aspect is taken off, the cost of land is taken off, the rest can be given to private developers to develop at about half the cost, so that it will make building affordable.
In Ghana.
And we're thinking about Saglame solving that because the land is for the states.
Yeah.
And government was supposed to also build that lateral infrastructure, like the provision of water and other social amenities on the ground. Unfortunately, the government did not. But that notwithstanding, the private sector, what it did, the cost should be cheaper than a private developer acquiring land and then building. So state can even do that and then roll it out as part of the rent assistance scheme. I think that is going to be go a long way to help the citizens to be able to rent a place. It is not everyone that can own our own houses. Unfortunately, at our part of the world, we always want to own. We don't want to rent. But in other jurisdictions, go to Europe where most of them are renting. Again, we want to own our own property. And even at times, we want to have our own compound.
Yes.
We don't have money, yet we want to live as kings.
Don't you think it's a mindset? I mean, it's something that when you're born and you're here in Ghana, the next thing you know, they're telling you that go to school, have your certificate, get married, and then you own a home. Yeah. It's been the mindset.
Yeah, necessity will force you to change that mindset. To change that mindset.
Yeah.
After schooling, if you have a job and you look at your salary, you want to build a house.
Is that possible? That's the question you should ask yourself.
Oh, it is probably depending on the kind of job.
Money you are being paid.
Yeah. You can. But if you don't, and at least you are earning little, to me, it makes a lot of sense to even go for social houses whilst you start to even build up your own capital, to think about building for yourself, live in social house. I'm a member of parliament. I don't live in my house. I rent. But
you have a house.
I have a house in my hometown, because when eventually my people decide not to renew my mandate, I will not live in Accra.
You'd have to go there.
I'll go back home. So if everyone decide that after some time you go back home, Accra will not be choked.
That's true.
You understand that? So I decided that let me build something at home first before I think about building something in Accra, where when I'm old man, I would like to live among my family. And that will be over there in Bono and not in Accra.
Let's talk about illegal structures.
Okay.
Do you think they should be demolished, even if you own the place? I mean, you've gone through the documentation and everything, and you own the place. Do you think it should be destroyed?
So we have to weigh the two against the public interest.
Okay.
You know something? You have all that it is. You have built a house. You have blocked waterway. You have built a mansion. We have to allow you to live there where others, lot of your neighbors are suffering because of your house? I don't think so. So in my case, fine, you have built a house. At times, some of the structures, when they are demolishing, you sit down and ask yourself, why? Because it's not easy to build in Ghana. But at the end of it, you have to think about the general interest of the population. That should we leave that structure there? How is it going to affect your neighbors? So if it is going to affect majority of the people, the structure will have to go. Though very, very, very unfortunate to happen to anyone. But let me tell you, those who gave those permits, those who sold that land, all those people, we need to fish out for them.
And be dealt with.
Equally take part of the blame.
Wouldn't we have probably like a fund or something, and then we do more or less like a remuneration for the person who lost their place?
I don't think so. That we are awarding illegality.
Oh no, I'm saying we're destroying the land, but then because of people that actually illegally gave him or her the right to actually own that piece of land, and he or she has built, and they've spent so much into it, they've lost it.
Okay.
Is there a fund that can be put?
So the state will have to get fund to compensate that
little compensation.
Illegality.
Do you think it's possible?
No, it can't.
It's not possible.
I don't think that's ever happened anywhere in the world.
All right. So now let's look at the home ownership fund.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think is living up to its expectation?
We have just like I started, we have a lot of good laws around, but we have limitation as to how much you'll be able to give to that fund.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at a lot of people would like to have access to that fund, but there's a limitation as to what government can do because we have competing demands as a country. So how much can we put in there? It is working, but not to the levels that we all expect that it should be. And I believe that we need to also explore other alternatives to ensure that we get there. It's nothing to write home about.
Are we building communities or just houses?
We believe that
if you look at our housing industry, are we building communities or just?
We are not. We are not. We need to start. We need to plan before we start to build. But we build before we start to plan. So when you build before you start to plan, then you are not building a community. Are you?
No,
we are not. So we are not building communities unless probably you decide you plan. You know what you want to put up there. Make space for even community engagement. You have to have sports facilities. You need to have shopping area.
Swimming pool.
You need to have swimming pool. You need to have. Then you are building a community.
Massage parlors.
Exactly. Depends on your taste and then
I hear my taste is
your income.
Yes.
I know you have those very good tastes for those kind of. So if you want to build a community, you plan ahead. You don't start building before you start to plan. In that sense, we are not building a community as always. When I'm going to rent a place, there's a lot I look at. The place, is it even close to my church? How many minutes would I have to drive to get my closest church? Very, very important to me. And if I need other things that will make life bearable, what are the roads over there? What are water supply? What are these? Before I choose where to live. So that is me. So I would like to live within communities.
Yeah.
Where it was well planned. And that also goes with affordability.
That's true.
You have what it takes to live in that community. And it's so key for me. And necessity forces some people to live in places where they are not supposed to live. You move from your village and you want to come and live in Accra. When you were coming, you came holding your polythene bag. You didn't have bank account and you want to come and live
in Accra.
In Accra. So where would you live?
East Legon Airport.
Exactly. You will live in East Legon, but in kiosk.
I don't prefer kiosk.
So that's the kiosk estate. So you look at your resources before you choose where you want to live. So when you are airborne, you are traveling outside the country, or even you are airborne, just look down and you see where the kiosk estates are dotted. You see them. Some of them live at very good places, very close to the airport.
Yes.
You know that?
I've seen that.
The kiosk estates so close to the airport. So I said, hey, these people,
they don't pay rent, they don't pay for water, they don't pay for electricity.
They came using their polythene bags. And so you don't expect that. And those areas these people are all squatters. So as a country, we need to pause a bit and be thinking about these people. How to build community for these low income
earning
people. We need to think about them. And most of these people migrate not because they want to come to Accra, but they are searching for jobs. I remember when I started as a just after school, I used to work with a company called Main Timbers Company at the MIM. At that time, we had a workforce of over 5,000 people. Main Timbers alone used to employ about 5,000 people. And when about 60% of the workforce were housed by the company. Housed by the company. And the workers came from across the country. We're living like people who live in Tema in those days ran out. Tema is no more attractive. But we were living because if we were senior staff at that time, we were entitled to go to clubhouse, we had swimming pools, we had everything. And in a month, we had a privilege to come to Kumasi to do shopping at the expense of the company. So not the area that you live, that matters. You can live in a rural area, but live big. You understand it?
Yeah.
Yes. And if you look at the environment, I don't like Accra because the environment is not good. In name over there, even the breeze, we don't have the sea there, but we have mountains. Some of the things that we used to experience, see the green, and it was so amazing. Currently, go there. All those houses are in bushes.
Wow.
Yes, overgrown. Which, can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? The factory itself collapsed, and no one lives in those structures. No one. The swimming pool, all those luxurious things.
They are all gone.
They are there in the bush.
They are there. Nobody is using them.
Yes. So we need to be deliberate about some of these things to attract people back to those rural communities. So I love, so when I look at NDC manifesto, what we're thinking about doing in a farm place, let's build communities in places where they can get jobs so that people will be attracted to those areas and not to Accra. Okay. Because Accra, there's nothing in Accra. Nothing.
Well, it's debatable because some people think Accra is the ish or it's the place to be.
So be here and live in chaos.
All right. Now let's look at the communities. Why is it that so many communities are built, without proper drainage systems and then also roads?
That is what I'm telling you. We always develop before we start to think about developing certain things. But we need to plan. Planning should go ahead of development. Developing, I'm not talking, if I use development, then I may not be describing it well because we can't talk about development without thinking about those social amenities, So we have growth and development. You can grow, as a community can grow without development. You understand? So those sprawling communities, I can say, those sprawling communities are growing. But that's not development. But the two should go
hand in
hand. And you can only grow those communities where you have developed certain structures. Those structures should be there. Do they have water? Yes. Do they have the necessary roads, infrastructure? Yes. We have electricity? Yes. We have place of waste collection? Yes, we have all these, and there's sports and other facilities there. Recreational facilities, very important. So I believe that once we are opening places, the state should go ahead to put up all those infrastructure facilities before even the private sector. Once the private, when this grader and those they build those estates, all those infrastructure facilities are provided by a private developer. Mm-hmm. So all these things are built into the cost of the structures that they provide, which is priced out of the reach of an ordinary Ghanaian. But if the state can go ahead, do all these things, and then they build, we take a chunk, about 50% of the cost is taken off the cost of that facility so that people can have affordable houses. And going forward, we can also be thinking about Usu. Look at structures on Usu land. These are a traditional area and people wouldn't want us to talk about it. But let me tell you, there's something special happening in part of the African continent. What they did was that these people wouldn't want to move because we have lived here for this our ancestral home. We wouldn't want to leave that place. But what someone did was that they would just get one land, acquire a land, and start to build. They built a community. They built a community because I'm talking about they built a community because they provided electricity, they provided water, market, and other social amenities in those communities. So they will come value your structure, that structure over there, and tell you you're entitled to 3-bedroom apartment. You have this and this. Oh no, I will not go. This is our ancestral house. Okay, you come. Just go and have a look at the place. They will go there and they see the facility that they have been provided. No, we'll move. Then they move in. They move in, they create space. They build another one. They move in. At the end of it, about 1,000 families that you used to scatter on that bare land, you put up about 100 structures and they are all in those structures. They need big space. And you know, these are prime land. And private people are prepared to build more of those structures so that we create space, because you know, land is a major component when it comes to the cost of building in Accra.
Yeah.
So once you're able to create enough space, but you know, if you go and tell the people that we are coming to build a place, so why don't you move in? And they will not tell, they will, no, who trust governments? Right now, politicians, no one trusts us. No. So
we trust you a little.
Okay, you can trust me, but no one, because we promise, and it's always very difficult to deliver on our promise. But once you do certain things and you say, oh, right now, this is your key, go in there. Where he used to live, there wasn't any toilets. They didn't even have regular water. They didn't have A, they only have B, they didn't have C. Right now, their house, they have their kitchen, they have everything in it. They move in and they are very happy. And you know, we went to that country, one of them gave us the opportunity to enter her apartment. And you could see how happy that woman was. Very happy to take care of this, our kitchen, this are this, this are that, this are that. Where did you live? We used to live down there. So they are happier. And I believe once they have been able to do it, we can do it as well. But they are a little bit, they are skeptical because of politicians, the way we do certain things. So we need to start to do certain things so that we can build the trust in people.
That has been
that for once we are doing certain things right. You know, tradition is very nice. We organize ourselves around our chiefs, but that is the major hindrance to our development as a country. That traditional system, that tribal issues is one major hindrance to our development as a country. At a point, I don't ask myself, Nkrumah did a lot, but he should have reduced even the powers of the chiefs more, especially when it comes to land issues on land. The state should have had more control. Unfortunately, we have also not done up to our expectation, because the lands are given to us and we also sold it to ourselves.
Who do you think is responsible before permits are given?
I think the special planning, where state lands are under Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. So when it comes to private certification of land before you can build, it's under the Ministry of Local Government, which is under the special planning. So to me, these assemblies are largely to be blamed for most of these problems that we are encountering in acquisition of land and other things. And then we used to call them town planning. Town planning people. There's a lot we have to do. Some of them, they are professionals, but once you relax, human beings are as we are. We want to have the liberty to do lots. But once we have laws to regulators and the laws are not working, we'll do certain things that are not right. So, you know, all the discussions, the bottom line is let's enforce our laws.
Implementation. That's all.
And to me, let's crack the whip. We have to crack the whip. That is it. We have a tendency of we have the fine law, but we'll not go by the law.
Why do you think building a house is becoming like a luxury? I mean, I have to own a house. We've spoken about that already, but then it's become a luxury to the point that everybody wants to own one. Why do you think it is so?
Just like, since we discussed it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
We mentioned that, and to me, it is something we've done where we need to start to rethink about it, it becomes part of us as people, but it's not right.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, if you travel to over there in Europe, no one cares about owning a household.
They don't think like that.
No. They live their life once they have a place to put their head. After that, they are gone. But we want to do certain things to bequeath something to our children. As if our children will not work.
They will.
You know? So over there, they make life so easy. Train your child, educate them, let them start. But we will just want to build one house. Second, want to build a second one because when I die, my children will have to inherit something.
And if you don't build, they would insult you.
Yeah, they'll tell you are not. Your father was MP, yet you couldn't do A, B, C, D. But I think you need to disabuse and start to honor people with some level of integrity. I believe that that is what we are lacking as a country. Someone can go to public service, do everything right. So far as he was not able to acquire a lot of properties, he will die and no one will remember such a person.
Yeah.
You know, Osage Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, you know, when we were kids, we used to be UP. My father used to be UP. So some of the things we heard about Nkrumah, we saw him like a monster. I remember when he died, and they didn't have TV. So they were showing it on public bars and other things. Because of some of the things my father said about Nkrumah. You look at the pictures and you are scared. We wouldn't want to be asked you to go and sleep. No, you see Nkrumah because all the things they said about Nkrumah wasn't good. But to me, he's one of the greatest that
I think he is the greatest.
To our country. He died with all the resources that Nkrumah should have been able to amass. He didn't have anything. The same thing, Jerry Rawlings, a founder of my party. If you listen to him, even to the extent that when he left office and he needed any money to take care of the wife, medical expenses, it was a problem. These are the people, Professor Mills, who was my mentor, died. Professor Mills died as an ordinary person. Instead of us to celebrate these people, do we celebrate them? We don't. We always want to celebrate the world to do, oh, this person is rich. Look at his houses, look at his cars. Ghanaians celebrate those people more than those who live with that level of integrity.
So do you think we're chasing after the wind?
We are. At times, some of the things I see on social media, some people live, they have a lot of money, they died, and no one is even interested in what they acquired. They just fizzled out to the thin air. So the tendency of us looking for a lot of money, wealth, so that we can bequeath that to our children and those that are even unborn. We want to leave something for those people. I don't think that is right. That is not right. But it's so embedded in our traditions. You know that? So embedded in our traditions. So to me, if I come to Accra as a member of parliament, I've been a deputy minister, I've been a DC, and I don't have house. No, I don't have house in Accra. And at the end of it, I will return to Doma, I will return to Sunyani, and I have a house there. I shouldn't be seen as I haven't been successful in life. I've done my part.
You've done your part, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've done my part. So when we don't put that pressure on people, we try to live within our means.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue on with the conversation. Stay tuned.
Celebration of our beautiful nation. And particularly today, it's a celebration of women in honor of International Women's Day. So when we come back after this short break, I'm going to be speaking to two phenomenal women in construction. We'll be right back.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Hey, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
Put your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Hello, people of Ghana. Looking to buy land this World Cup season? I'm here to give you 6 solid reasons why Estate Masters is your most trusted estate partner. 1. We are genuine. Here at Estate Masters, every promise is real, every transaction genuine. We don't just sell lands, we sell peace of mind. 2. We are credible. Our credibility is proven. We are who we say we are, respected, recognized, and trusted across Ghana.
We sell litigation-free lands. With us, your land is litigation-free. No disputes, no worries, just security for you and your family. Free site visits. We bring you to the land at no cost. Free site visit mean you see before you buy with full confidence. Your paperwork is on us. We provide free documentation, ensuring your ownership is clear and protected.
And yes, you enjoy unbeatable discounts when you buy land from Estate Masters to make land ownership even sweeter. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure your genuine land with Estate Masters. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
Every heart burning bright.
So, I have 10 Ghana cedis in my pocket. Now think about it. If 10 Ghana cedis could buy you anything at all, what would you buy? I can think about so many things. Are you ready? Watch this space.
Welcome back. Once again, this is the Home Owner Show on Metro TV. We are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. My name is Hanna Atiase, and we are still looking at Ghana's housing crisis. And I have with me here the distinguished and honorable Vincent Oppong, who happens to be the chairman of the Select Committee when it comes to works and housing in Ghana. Honorable, let me ask you this. Do you think we're losing the battle when it comes to sanitation?
Sanitation, usually I would like to talk about water and sanitation. If you ask me now, yes, we are not doing much because if we still practice open defecation.
Up to today,
if we are still practicing open defecation, that should tell you that we are not making any impact. Gone are the days we used to have even the Ministry for Water and Sanitation, a whole ministry sitting there. But Greater Accra, people still defecate at the beach. And beside that, if you look at waste collection, the way we even collect waste, that should tell you that there's nothing more we have to do in the area of waste collection. The recent flooding exposed a big time
to the world.
It exposed us that it is not only the drainage system that we don't have the drainage, we are not also, when it comes to the area of sanitation, we are also not doing very well in that direction. And that is why I believe sincerely that the president decided to just bring some a committee on board to ensure, to support the ministries, the Ministry of Western Housing and the Ministry of Local Government. In the area of sanitation, I think it should be part of the president KPIs for the disassemblies. If MMDC is not living up to expectation, they should be shown the exit. And Ghanaians should know that the president should let Ghanaians know that we are very serious about the issue of sanitation. And for me, if you ask, it is time that we need to crack the whip. Mm-hmm. We need to enforce most of our sanitation bylaws. And once we are not doing that, then we can't get anywhere. We can defeat that. To me, when I move out there in Accra, all that I see disturbs me a lot. Because it's unheard of. People, traders who just trade, gather all their waste and come and put it in the center of the road, and they go away. And when I'm driving Sakumon, I'm driving towards Lashibi, you can see this rubbish.
Heaps of rubbish.
Yes. And it's just
and who are they expecting to come and pick up?
Yes, there are some kiosks at that side. There are kiosks. You cross the road, there are this black polythene bag. So that should tell you all those rubbish were generated by the kiosks over there. So why can't you go there, tell them, please, if you don't stop this, we are coming to remove all of you from the roadside. Because these are all temporary structures. So that one too, is it difficult for you to implement?
I don't think so.
Is it difficult?
No.
So you have a DC sitting there and taking salary, monthly salary. So you only have to just gather all those guys over the traders over there and tell them, have you seen this rubbish? You have been generating that rubbish. Anytime we come and we see those rubbish over there, all of you, we are coming to remove
arrest you.
And that is it. It will go. And those that are squatted, that are sleeping under the bridges and the circle, and those with those kiosk estates that are dotted around the open drains, I believe that if we are unable to even remove them, there should be leadership around there. And the leadership over there to ensure that sanitation laws are obeyed. Other than that, because if you want to even put refuse containers over, you can't get access to the place because there are no roads to access the place.
But then they dump rubbish over there. How come they were able to get the access to do that?
They dump rubbish into the drain because they live by that place.
Yeah.
So we give them warning that if you don't stop and we see rubbish inside, we come and remove you. We can remove them easily because they have no permits.
Yeah.
You know, but unfortunately, these are people, excuse me to say, most of them are not very well educated. They are not very, very well educated. If you organize them and you educate them, some of them will understand you because they know that your continuous stay at that place depends on your sanitary environment. Other than that, we'll remove you from there. They would, at least. So for me, I'm for sanitation laws. No, we are not doing well. Zoom Lion.
I was going to come to that.
I believe that in those days, we didn't have Zoom Lion.
Yeah.
We have sanitary inspectors.
Private sector involvement.
The private sector involvement is not bad. Because for now, if you talk about the ARECOP centers, you know, a private developer who's a Ghanaian has been able to develop sites where in those days we used to dump our waste at refuse site. It got to a time that even removing those refuse was a huge burden.
Yeah.
Thank God we have a private developer. We are able to establish recycling plants all over the country.
Yeah.
Not only in Accra. So that once you move them to that side, at least it will be recycled.
And it's been said that other countries are working with the private sector that you're talking about. Other countries have decided that we want you to actually clean our country for us.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we not making the best out of the same person or the same
institution? The challenge that I had with those people that they recruited to clean our streets, I told you, if you recruit and you don't assign them to specific site, you will not get the best out of them. The best out of them. You will not assign them. Because if you put me that, Vincent, I'm supposed to clean this office, you can come find out whether the place is clean or not. By that case, we are just recruiting. Political party, the party in power will just recruit for. I know, if I brought the government, they are not interested in sweeping. They are interested in the monthly allowance that will be getting as a result of that. So it was a problem. It was a problem. So once you recruit, assign them to specific areas so that I know that from job 600 to, how do we call it, to State House, this person is in charge of the place. And anytime we come and the place is untidy, then we know who to pick up. Unfortunately, the implementation was a challenge. And to me, private sector working with government, I have absolutely no problem with it. But at least we need to see how the implementation was done. We just don't have to kill that contract, but we need to review the contract so that we can have the best out of that investment that have been made. Because I tell you, state cannot do it. The state cannot do it.
The contracts with Zoom Lion, do you think they are transparent enough?
Transparency.
Because I mean, if you look at what happened and some of the contracts or parts of the contract were cut off from what they were doing, the question would be, was it transparent enough?
You know something?
If we all knew what was at hand and what they had to do, I don't think the government would have to bother itself.
You know something? Transparency in terms of documentation, our laws were followed. Every law of this kind in terms of procurement, everything, we did everything right. So on that score, I would say it is transparent. But the implementation and the enforcement is where the challenge is. Let's get people to work for this Zoom Lion. Party people will go and pick party people. And I brought the government. So if I don't work, you have to pay me. I'm not saying my government alone. The previous administration, party people, and we are paying about 100 people. But at the end of it, those who are actually working, we are about 20. Meanwhile, we are paying them. You understand it? So we need to be very transparent in what we do. These are assemblies working with the private developer. I'm giving you 100 people to work. You are taking the money from taxpayers' money to pay the private person. Ensure that you assign them roles, what they are supposed to do, so that at least we can measure the success story of the contract that we sign. Fine, once wastes are dumped at the private developer that is doing the recycling, there's absolutely no problem with it. But waste, we need to move the waste from where it is to that side. That is where the challenge is. And I believe that because of the fact that we had implementation challenges, doesn't mean that we need to cancel the contract. We need to review so that we can have it better than it has been
before.
Because I believe when I became the MC, those were the days that Johnson Group of companies were becoming prominent. I remember that we had even a company to go and cut a sword for some quarry in Sunyane, and then J. Prampu had just come on board. We work with him. But I believe that it is time for them to review the performance and doing it better. You don't cancel. It is only under MPP that review means cancel. It's only an MPP that review means cancel. Review means you just want to see where the lapses are so that we can improve upon that. And if you ask me, in my candid opinion, we don't have to cancel that contract. We need to review it and make it better. I should be able to know that when I'm at Sakumon, I'm going. I know from this point to this point, these are the two people that are in charge of cleaning that place. So when I read there and I see there's a refuse over there, I know who
is responsible.
Who's responsible for that.
If you have the opportunity to reform our sanitation system, what are the changes that you would implement?
I've already spoken about some of the issues. And to me, if we do that, we don't learn from. These are practical things. We didn't go to country to start the SATO. The SATO that we attended, we didn't attend preparatory school. You know, they used to call it international school. We didn't attend that one. No. It was the SATO. So every plot of land, you see our names written. And while the SP, senior prefect, gets there, or the teacher on duty gets there, they know, oh, this is where this person, and then you'll be called assembly, they will give you your lashes there. You go to cycle, and people are really shit. It has turned to be a place. How on that? So once you remove such as there, put people, assign people there, let them green the place, greening. the water, we'll have grass, green grass, we're greening the place. You assign people, they are working there. House and garden, where are they? You think they will bring those cattle over there to come and permanently station them there? No, because you remove them, you didn't assign anyone there. And you are not doing anything there. People will come and urinate a circle. Because you are not assigned anyone there. You think if we are people sighted permanently over there, you think that is going to happen? No way. So we have a lot of resources to recruit. Those people should be paid well. We should encourage them to work so that they can produce results. They can give us good results. And if I have the opportunity to do that, you don't have a ministry where ministry that will be in charge of just implementation to discipline people. I would have loved to work in the ministry like that, just to discipline people. And I would like to work with the ministry.
I mean, if you're talking about that, and earlier on in our conversation, you're talking about those that are living in kiosk and so on and so forth. What would you do? What are some of the things that you think should be done? Do you think government should provide or help or support with bins and so on so that we can find a way?
Even if you have the bins, you can't even get places to put the bin. Even how to move the bin to where they are is a problem. Because there's no road. All the open drains, you should have had 20 meters of open drains. There shouldn't be any settlement whatsoever. Left, right. So that we can even build, when we green the place, we plant grasses, green grasses, so there will not be any erosion. No one should come close to that open drain. But at least you give it some human face. So you start to go to Agomis. Terrible.
Terrible, yeah. I've been there.
Terrible. We'll be going there on Tuesday. Terrible. And we are telling them, we don't implement anything, but we can talk. And those responsible, in charge of ensuring that things are done, we invite you here to Parliament and we'll give our orders.
You think Zoomlion should be giving their contracts back?
I don't know whether they have taken away his contract.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. You are telling me they have taken his contract away.
What was taken out of the contract?
I think that his contract should be reviewed because he has all the infrastructure facilities. He has put so much resources to get where he is at the moment. So all that we need to do is to sit down with stakeholders and then we review the previous agreement, and then this time we do what is right so that we can see visible signs of improvement in our sanitation situation. Because we are here. Am I asking that when he was working with MPP, sanitation was better at that time? No. We came and we have heard that right now everything has been sent to the assemblies to handle. No improvement. Still. So all that we need to do that the two parties will have to meet, they review the contract, and I believe that sanitation should be one of the key KPIs for the MMDCs, that at the end of the year, if they do assessment and there's one municipality that are not perform well in the area of sanitation, the DC should be shown exit.
Chairman, in the next 3 to 4 years, what do you think we should expect when it comes to works in housing?
I believe that we can only do better if we start to enforce our bylaws. Other than that, the next 2 to 3 years to be the same. That is it, though. You can't continue to do the same thing and expect good any result. No, you can't.
So the breaking news is, if we don't change,
nothing will change. But how do you change anything when you have no change? See now, you have a car, the engine is no good. You are not working on the engine. And you will think the car will always take you to your destination. No! Just work on the engine. And I believe that with the research that we have, a lot of changes I expect, even though we have seen some of the changes in the area of roads, construction, the economy is doing better. A lot of other things are doing better. But I believe sincerely that within our local governance area, we need to up our game, especially in the area of sanitation. And I also think that the government should pull up money in the Ministry of Works and Housing. Because you know something, once you put a lot of money in road construction, we'll build these smaller drains. All these drains will discharge into a major storm drain. We have two things. We have storm drains and we have the culverts, the minor ones. Once we are building roads, we build these culverts, drains at the roadside. But this minor things discharge into a storm drain. And storm drain is major infrastructure facility that we need to put money in. And I'm expecting that 2027 budget, which will be approved in 2026. I'm pleading with our government that as part of the big push, they should make good allocation to the Ministry of Works and Housing so that most of our drains, open drains, at least we can do some concrete lining. And then we should move these quarters. This one doesn't need money. This one is just a policy direction by the government. Let's move most of these quarters off our open drains so that 2028, 2027, we will not come back to complain about the flooding that we experienced in 2026. Because we all know, because of weather changes, the flooding will come. If we don't prepare, it will recur if we don't change anything. So my prayer is that let's think about the Ministry of Works and Housing in the 2027 budget. Let's big push. At least some major drains in Accra should be put in big push. The major drain, at least from the mountains right back to the sea. If we'll be able to, and then we have something we call the artificial lakes. We are creating some artificial lakes. We call it detention ponds. We need to be deliberate about this. Put money there, get contractors who, the previous administration did something. And if I hear them making a lot of noise now, 2019, Gary approved some money under the Gary project.
Yes.
We are supposed to implement. The money was sitting in the account. The money sat in that account. But implementation alone, for 5 years, they only spent on COVID. Give our money, that money that wasn't meant for COVID. The moment COVID came, they took some of the money. It took about 65 million from that money and used it as part of COVID expenditure. Meanwhile, within that period, they were able to buy logistics cars, they were able to do capacity building. The usual. All those things they were able to do. The only thing they were not able to do with actual construction. And interest. Who should get the contract? Who shouldn't get contract? 5 years, nothing happened. And we are where we are. So I believe that government should allocate resources, but we have to award contracts to people that have what it takes, the capacity. And Ghanaians should see changes as a result of allocation of this resource into the works and housing sector.
We are wrapping up, but I would want to ask you, what stopped what was happening in Circle many years ago, starting from Mkwa's case that I was talking about, when he was stopping people from throwing rubbish in? What stopped that from happening? And why didn't we continue from there?
That was a revolution era.
Okay.
Where right now, everybody, I know my rights. Everyone knows his right. The right to even defecate, right to even urinate, right to do everything that are very unlawful. In those days, you do it and kill. They will just kill you. And you will not come again. But rather, today, you go again. The social media, the media people will just come up to you. Why did you even kill the person? And the person did not do the right thing. So that is why I'm advocating that whilst the tribunals are established, once the tribunals are established, some of the issues that should come to fore are the sanitation issues, you know, and those that are decided not to be indisciplined in the system. They should be going to the tribunal. Most of them should go to the tribunal and they have to sentence them to community service. So I'll be so happy that someone who's in tie, you urinate, you go to sanitation court, we sentence you. And you will even give you the chance, just wear your tie, and then whilst you are working in the gutters, and then the military will be following you. That one is lawful because we are past that law. So once you are sentenced to community service and you are doing that, that one is lawful. So no one will come and say it is a military regime and you are doing this. My expectation is that we will not use the traditional, the regional, and then the district tribunals to intimidate people, but at least to correct the wrongs that we have discussed this morning. We need to, and we need that. We need that. So those people who were handcuffed yesterday, I'm only praying that the chiefs will not go and plead for them to release. Let them put them there.
Okay.
For at least to serve as deterrent. And it is not only in Accra. You go to Cape Coast. I had my secondary university education at Kibas. I went to Elmina, I saw it. I saw a lady defecate at the beach. And I shouted, what are you doing? And they were just watching me. This guy, where is he from?
Is he out of his mind?
I am strange because hopefully, this guy from Bono, because Bono, we don't do that.
Yes.
But you do it in the coastal area. So we need to move away from
Chairman, in 5 years' time, the Homeowners Show is definitely going to invite you back here. But then what we would want to ask you is, what should we expect in the housing sector? In the housing sector. And what should Parliament be accounted for?
I expect that governments should play its role and play it very well in the area of land, provision of land and provision of these lateral facilities. Just get land banks, let extend water, let extend electricity, get in the private sector to put up those structures. Once they put up those structures, the cost of those properties will not be astronomically high. And we have to ensure that these foreigners wouldn't come and price us off. Citizens of the country will, and I'm also expecting that rural areas should be developed to serve as one of the attractive areas to a lot of people, so that people will not be migrating to Accra. Like I mentioned, the Mim Timbers. Currently, if you are able to even develop that place and there's something over there for people to live on, I tell you, we can move about 5,000 people to that place. They can have accommodation. They can be working. We need to decongest Accra. We can decongest Accra when we create economic opportunities in elsewhere in Ghana. Afan Plains, very like Volta region. They have
one of the most beautiful places in Ghana. And the eastern region.
So the area of agriculture and those, let's develop those places so that we can decongest Accra.
Because thank you very much.
Kiosks, some of them as ISO.
Yeah, ISO.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for joining us for this week's edition of the Homeowner Show on Metro TV. We've had a great conversation with Honorable Vincent Oppong, who happens to be the chairman for the Senate Committee when it comes to works and housing. We're going to be seeing you next week for another wonderful edition. My name is Hanna Atiase and Hon.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
I've been to Liberia. The place was not as it is now. Life had not gotten back to normal.